Hey guys, welcome back to Close Enough Creations. Today we got the big red in the garage and we're going to be ripping the forks off and rebuilding them. I'd like to do a video that covers the entire process from start to finish. We're going to show you guys ripping them off the bike, getting them onto the bench and ripping the old seals out, putting the new ones in, getting the boots on, and finally putting them back on the bike. So let's get into it. The first step is going to be to remove this front brake cable. Then we're going to loosen these 4 nuts, take our axle out, and pull the tire out. The next step is going to be to remove this front fender because it's blocking access to these 2 bolts that hold in our fork tube. There are 4 10mm bolts. Okay, so we got our forks off. We're going to put them in the vise and we're going to be removing this bolt at the bottom. It uses a 6mm Allen. Alright, so now that that's loose, I'll bring it over to this drain pail. Copper washer right there. Okay. I'm just gonna go up and down and kind of squeeze some of this oil. Oh my God. That looks horrible. Finally broke it free. All right, so we'll bring that down to the oil bin. Bring it down here. Oh my God, there's chunks in this one. Now that we have these bolts removed, we can pull this fork tube right out. I'm gonna take off this piece here, put that over to the side. Move this boot now. We're gonna save these clamps. Chuck the boot. And do the same thing with this guy here. Take those off. Slide this thing all the way out. Remove this cap here. Okay, now that we have the tube set up in the vise, right side up, it's dripping in a bucket down here. We're gonna be removing the top cap. So John's gonna be pushing down on this cap, and I'm gonna be removing the clip. All right, let her up. Okay, now we can take the fork tube out of the vise, flip it upside down over this container in case there's any oil coming out. We'll take out the spring here, push this rod down through. Ugh. Oh my God. Leave that right there. And now we're fully disassembled on that one. Okay, so we got everything laid out. The next step is going to be to remove these dust seals and then the oil seal within there, and then we can actually get everything cleaned up and start assembly. Now we're going to remove this clip that's holding in our oil seal. Just going to pry up on it there. Pull that out. Now we're gonna remove our oil seal by taking a flathead screwdriver, going below it and just kind of twisting. There's our oil seal out. Then there's a little ring in here, a little metal ring. All right, so now we're gonna clean our parts. I found this bin that just happens to fit these springs. Didn't check to see if the tubes, oh my God, the tubes fit in there too. Oh yeah, that's gonna work great. Probably gonna have to do one at a time because I'm not gonna put that much in there. Yeah, let's get everything in there. Got our mineral spirits over here. We'll pour it like this. There we go, that's much smarter. Get some Scotch-Brite. Maybe hit the end of this tube where it's all rusty here. Now we can take them out, and we're going to clean the aluminum bottom part of the forks, which I have sitting over here. These guys are just covered in mud, and grease, old fork oil. They're pretty dirty, but they're going to clean up nice, I think. Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll probably clean the inside of this with Scotch-Brite as well, and just dip it in here. Looks pretty good to me. Now that we've got everything cleaned up and laid out, we're gonna start assembling. We're gonna be using automatic transmission fluid, and I've already got 3.8 ounces already pre-measured. That's gonna be per shock. Before we start, we're gonna wipe everything down with ATF. Actually, we'll just leave these upside down so most of it drains out and it doesn't affect how much is actually going into them. Should probably do the same thing with these. Stick those there, put those there. Let all those drain out. All right, we're getting ready to put in our oil seal. Here it is. The best way to tell how to put this in the right way is this little groove around the outside. The shallow one is the top, and this deeper one goes on the bottom. So now we can put in this ring and our seal. Orient it this way. Push it down as far as we can. I've got the old oil seal right here, and we're gonna use this to seat the new one. So we're gonna kind of lightly tap and just kind of go all the way around and seat it evenly. And once the old seal is pretty much level with the outside of this tube, that's gonna be where you want the new seal to sit. So now we'll grab our clip. We'll put our clip in. And I'll just check to make sure it's in the groove. It is. Okay, I think we're actually ready to start putting these things together. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this guy, put this spring on it. We're gonna take our tube and put it right through the top here. We're gonna grab one of our tall springs, push that thing all the way down. This part's a little tricky, but not too tough. I'm gonna see if I can get a good view for you guys. So inside here, trying to line that up with the smaller hole. Let's see. Oh, I think I got it. Okay, so once you get that all the way through, just gonna put it down here. We're gonna grab this cap here, put that on. I'm gonna support it from the bottom because I don't want that falling off inside of this. So we're gonna flip this guy right on there, push it down, and then what you're trying to do is line up, there we go, line up these threads with that hole. Grab your bolt, make sure your copper washer is still on there. We'll just get that started right there. We don't have to tighten that right now. It's gonna hold that there. So we're gonna do the same thing to this guy now. We'll take this, put that on, drop it down in there, grab the spring, line it up, get it through, put this guy on, hold the bottom so the spring's not popping out. Now we're gonna put it into the bottom half of the fork tube, line up our threads. There we go. Grab this bolt, get it on there. Now we're gonna grab our 6mm Allen key and tighten these down. All right, now we can put our pre-measured 3.8 ounces in. Now we're going to try to work out any air bubbles that are in it. And try to go really slow. Okay. So here's our cap with the O-ring. Here's our clip. in. So the only thing we have left to do now is to put on our dust seals. We're just going to give them a little light coat of oil just to help them seat a little easier. We'll put this on there. Now we can put on our boots. And I got a couple zip ties here. All right. Looks good. Two rebuilt front forks. So in case you guys are wondering how far up you have to push this fork into the triple tree, it's up until the top bolt here will slide into this groove. Now we can put in our 14mm bolts. There it goes. All right, now we can put on our front fender. And I got one of our 4 10mm bolts here.